World leaders returned to the Vatican on Sunday to celebrate the inaugural Mass for Pope Leo. The new pope, born in Chicago, received the official symbols of his office. Before greeting top officials, he called for peace around the world and unity inside the Roman Catholic Church. Chris Livesay has more from Rome.
With the weight of the world aboard the Pope-mobile, Pope Leo XIV rode into history. Before tens of thousands, including his brother, he donned the mitre and the fisherman's ring. A first for a man born in the U.S.
It's a historic moment for the United States, for the Vatican, and for U.S.-Vatican relations. Leading the U.S. delegation here was Vice President J.D. Vance, a devout Catholic.
Followed by the Secretary of State and fellow Catholic Marco Rubio, and joined by other dignitaries like Ukrainian President Volodymr Zelenskyy. Leo denounced conflicts worldwide, calling once again for a just peace in Ukraine. Rubio, the vice president, and the Ukrainian president later met, the first time for Zelenskyy and Vance since that heated White House exchange back in February.
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful
over Russia's invasion of Ukraine. On the same morning as Leo's inauguration, Kyiv said Moscow launched more than 270 drones across the country, a record since the start of the war. The American pontiff has offered to host peace talks, but as a pastor, not a politician, says Canadian Cardinal Michael Cherney.
He's not an alternative General Secretary to the UN. This is not a political position. So world affairs have their place. It's a bit risky to start comparing him with a global leader.
And there has been a flurry of diplomatic activity here in Rome. Just this morning, Pope Leo met again here at the Vatican, Secretary Rubio and Vice President J.D. Vance, just as the Trump administration is pushing for that ceasefire in Ukraine. Gayle, Nate, Tony.
Chris Livesay in Rome, thank you.
All right, Chris Livesay, thank you. I know 48, just yesterday I was in Rome.
Yeah.
You know, it's amazing what you can do in 48 hours, but Oprah and I were invited, and Maria Shriver, and so we got literally a front row seat.
How was it?
It was amazing. I'm not Catholic. Maria is a very devout Catholic.
Look at you.
But
wow.
For some reason, we were placed in the front row, and we got to see the Pope mobile when he came by, and he was this close. Look at this. So that's Oprah's hand going, Chicago, Chicago. He's pointing, though. It looks like he's pointing at us. He's pointing to Father Manny, who was our guide, who was seated right next to us. Manny clearly has a relationship with the Pope.
That's amazing.
But you could really feel the energy on that square about the love that people have. We also got to talk to a couple of
Chicago
cardinals.
guy. He probably watched the Oprah show. He's giving a shout out.
Yeah, no, I think he
What's up, O?
No,
Yeah.
he definitely didn't do that. But you know, there was something about the energy on the square. They were all religious denominations.
Yeah.
There. And we got to talk to a couple of cardinals who said he was the right man at the right time. He checked many of the boxes, and that he is going to be and is a gift to the world.
Wow.
There's something about him that I think is very captivating.
You're very right. There's something about him, and there is something about that little piece of land that's a crossroads of world history.
You really do feel it, Tony, when you're there.
Yep.
Yeah, well, we're glad to have you
Regardless
back.
of your religion.
I'm glad that you enjoyed it.
Glad to
Looked
come back,
amazing.
too.
Yeah.